All right, I've had enough. Let's just do it.
I've been having enough. God damn it.
Complete.
Everyone's pissed at you.
Let me click record.
There has been an awakening.
You better catch up, motherfucker.
Have you felt it?
Am I recording?
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Did you know the first word in the Phantom Menace novel is Tatooine? Isn't that? Just think about that.
I'm thinking about it. I'm Commander. Tatooine. What does it say after that?
Tatooine.
It gets all descriptive and stuff?
No, the first word in the entire book, the first two chapters, take place on Tatooine in the Phantom Dennis
The Phantom
novel.
Menace.
Yeah, Tatooine, and it talks about the dual burning suns and Anakin Skywalker getting ready for the raceway. Those are the first two chapters
How interesting.
in the Phantom Menace novel.
You've
That's why I bought this.
You've blown my mind. How far are you? Is the novel better than the movie?
I'm not going to even say that I've started. I read the first couple.
I'm changing our podcast name. I got this book. I haven't read it. Next
Well,
episode,
I mean,
I got this new book. I haven't read that either.
I heard about this book. I purchased it. Don't know what it's about.
Oh, man.
But I thought it was, that's why I purchased it because, well, one, I've always wanted to read the prequels because I think the prequel books might be a lot better than how they came out on film.
Yeah, probably.
Especially, we were talking about on the Patreon call yesterday about how the Revenge of the Sith novelization gets super in depth during Obi-Wan and Anakin's fight. And they talk a lot more back and forth. And it's like, it gets a little more brutal and kind of fucks with your mind. So, yeah, I'm excited to kind of dive into that. But it'll probably be, I don't know, 2 or 3 years before I open it up. But,
Before you finish chapter 1 of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you skip ahead and read parts of the fight? Or are you waiting? You just heard that it was cool.
Yeah, I guess it was, I think Jacob Weiss looked it up on Reddit, and they were talking about how much better the novels were. So, yeah.
Sorry, Jamie just said the Phantasmal Drangus. And that's the name of the episode. Thanks, man.
Phantasmal Drangus. You got a celebrity shout out for the title here. Know what I'm saying?
Celebrity shout out. Is Jamie a celebrity?
Could be.
Celebrities don't have to buy their own gas.
Oh, shots fired.
I'm just kidding. Hopefully I'll be out to see you guys soon. Jamie and Padilla. I always forget. Sorry. I'm American.
I don't forget. I just don't give a fuck.
We got Esteban here in the chat, wants to know if we like Metallica. Yes.
Of course.
I was actually randomly listening to an old episode of ours before we got our actual music or our actual background music and everything ironed out. And we were talking about Metallica like nonstop. And you asked, who is your favorite, not the best, your favorite metal vocalist? And I think we both said Randy Blythe.
I still hold by that. I think he was one of the best, vocalists.
He's out of control. Mopar with the greatest sweater ever. Yes, everyone loves your sweater.
Oh, you know what?
We've seen it multiple times, but show it off.
Dr. Steve Brule. Cool guy. I was wearing this at the tattoo convention that I went at, and I just had like every other person just, hey, I like it.
I literally thought you were going to say at the Tatooine convention.
The Tatooine convention.
Tatooine? Who works? I was wearing this at the Tatooine outlet mall.
Shut the fuck up. Okay,
all right, I'm
guys.
done with this. This is episode 135. Take a look. What's going on back here? I'm finally in my office.
Oh.
After months of recording in the white walls of the conference rooms, I'm finally moved in. Yes, that. Exactly.
I know how upset they were about the fucking white walls because I'm still dealing with them. So goddamn bright.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it actually, like you mentioned before we started, it kind of helps with the camera, too. Not having blank white walls. But there's still some some gaps in the wall back there. I got some things to do, hang some more shelves, but it's coming along.
Yeah, man, I like it.
And I don't have to.
I'm gonna have to consider the same thing when I move.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when we move, we'll have a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And I can just have an extra shit.
We'll just hang a green screen behind you. That'll solve all the lighting problems that you possibly could ever have.
It won't, because
It might.
unless the green screen's like, I guess I could bring it real close.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it happens.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Today, we don't have shit to talk about. Black Panther.
Black Panther was
released.
amazing. We have plenty to talk about.
You thought it was amazing?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
All right, we'll get into that.
So that means we have plenty to talk about.
Disney is quite possibly dropping EA, which I thought was a fucking letter from God. Anakin himself sent that tweet or whatever it was.
Plagueis must have planted that news inside Disney's fucking uterus.
You know, it's just upsetting. You have so much possibility, and even though we ended up kind of mediocre liking Battlefront,
I mean, it's fun.
There's just
but that's all I can really say.
You're missing out on pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is how much you're missing out on. I'm fucking pissed and I can't talk about it. EA, step your shit up, or EA is gonna drop kick you apart.
Yeah. So who was in the group chat? Maybe it was Padilla or Anakin Sandcrawler or something, was saying that listed off all the games that got made between like 2003 and 2005, and there was like 9 or 11 in just like 2 years. And then we fast forward to now, and then since Disney took over, we've had 2 games in like 5 years. But
they're not 2 games. They're the same fucking game.
Very true. Well,
and both of them are mediocre.
If you don't count the Lego Star Wars stuff.
I don't. Come on.
Then yeah, we just had
listen
1.5 games.
It's not Star Wars Lego. It's Lego Star Wars. It's a Lego game first.
Yeah.
Not a Star Wars game.
Yeah, and then Kerner just said here, 2 games in 5 years, end of story. Yeah, that's just unforgivable.
No, I no joke. They could be wrapped into one game. It was like a beta, which was not good, and then the alpha that came out, and it's still got a lot of bugs.
Dude, it's really funny to think that a professional AAA studio fucked things up that badly. Because the first one that comes out in 2015 has no prequel content. So you're looking at like 20% of the entire Star Wars universe. Movie universe, I should say, which is ridiculous in and of itself.
Think about that. And even when we were talking about how the prequels introduce so much content, so much new species, so many new planets, and you don't put any of that in, basically you're limited to Tatooine, Death Star, and Endor. Get the fuck off the screen. Cut it out.
And Han.
I don't want to be Leia and Han anymore.
Yeah,
I want to be fucking Mace Windu.
I think that... So when we first started the show, it was right after the Disney buyout and they announced Force Awakens and stuff like that. And I remember us talking about how they were blackballing, quote unquote, the prequels and not really mentioning it or including it in many things. And I think what they did, or what it seems like they did, was start with 7, make it just like 4, keep all the original trilogy stuff. The old actors are back, X-Wings and TIE Fighters everywhere, and ignore the prequel stuff. And you have backlash from that, especially Battlefront in 2015. But people are saying now, especially with episode 8, that we're missing all that old stuff that made the universe so freaking huge, and all the stuff they added in the prequel era. So now I think they're finally coming around, but the only problem is they're taking fucking forever to do anything about it.
Well, and the other big issue is there's not only one type of game. You don't have, I mean, can it be like a KOTOR, like storyline RPG?
Can it be?
Can it be? But you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a war first person. It could be an RPG. It could be some tactical shit. You know, let's get fancy with it. You got so much opportunity. So much. Mm-hmm. Give me a fucking TIE Fighter X-Wing game alone. That was the one part of the Battlefront that worked really well. Pull that out and make it an entire thing, and you have to do certain missions with it. You know, just random shit. Let's fucking do it.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
There also needs to be just a full storyline of the starfighters.
Yeah.
Let me fly into Scarif, take out the fucking cock ring around the planet, and then you got to go down in and just make it like a tiered thing.
Well, if they included as much variety as we have in Battlefield 4 and even in the other, the 2004 and 2005 Battlefronts. You could be on a Scarif match and have the option to be in an X-Wing or a U-Wing or be on the ground or be up in space. Like, you should have the option to do all those.
Yeah.
And one thing that the 2015 Battlefront did do really well is that DLC for Scarif, where you start in space, have to break through the shield gate, then you have to land on the beach, then you have to storm the fucking base. Like,
That's exactly what I want.
we need more of those, because we've talked about how the what's it called? The Galactic Assault is bigger and more expansive than like blast mode in Battlefront 2, but still you have 2 vehicles going to 3 different points and you have to blow them up along the way. It's really the same thing every single time.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
So
Just overall, it's upsetting. There's not it's like a forced flow. There's no randomness. There's no randomness to the battle, which can happen. Like, if one ship breaks through your lines, everything's fucked.
yeah.
But on this, no, you're gonna spawn way the fuck back there and run back in. I don't know. I'm done bullshitting on the game. I'm just excited for the possibilities of moving forward.
True. And based on what you said just now, I was thinking about Battlefield the other day and how we only play Conquest mode. And you'd think it would get boring playing the same exact mode on the same maps. But
Because different shit happens at every different map.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's so much variety, because anything can happen. The whole team could decide to rush this one command post, and that's a whole totally different start to the battle than you've ever seen before. So
Right. One team could be all vehicles. One team could be all snipers. And it's just...
yeah.
Yeah.
So this
just take a
opens
deep
up.
breath.
Yeah, this opens up some room. Black Panther's back there.
Oh, speaking of
T'Challa's back there.
T'Challa.
Yeah, so I hope that this goes through. This opens up some possibilities, and I know that there's been talks about an action game. I think because Sneaker Bags brought up on one of the Patreon calls, Battlefront 3's postponed indefinitely. First of all, why are they even working on Battlefront 3? Fix the game, but it's postponed because they're getting this action game out in 2019 instead of another Battlefront.
They should just do another Republic Commando.
There's hope.
Perfect it.
Republic Commando, dude. Oh my god.
Do like a Mass Effect squad-driven
That'd be fucking sweet.
RPG in the Star Wars universe. Just make KOTOR 3. It doesn't have to be specifically KOTOR 3. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
make a game where I can build my character, choose different ways, and it affects the universe.
Yeah.
Why is it that difficult? It's not.
It's
the
not.
point.
It's not.
It's not the Jedi way.
Apparently, it's not the
Not
EA
the
way.
EA way. Oh, fucking EA.
Well, hopefully they're out of our hair soon.
Yeah. So have you been gaming at all? At anything?
Dude, I haven't, and it's been really frustrating. I've been playing more board game stuff than I have anything else. I've had this Fallout board game for a while, and I finally busted it out last week when Tommy Boy was in town. And it's like many board games, the first time you play it takes like 6 hours to set up and learn the whole fucking game. But once we got the flow of it, it was pretty interesting. And it's cool how they incorporated quests into a board game, where like you would start off with one quest, and once you finish it, it would branch off into like 2 options. And then you could start to follow a quest line, and it would go through like different quest cards, just like in the game. Like depending on what you choose, you go one direction or you go the other. It was pretty interesting. But I've not been playing video games. And I was scrolling through my Xbox One the other day, like, what the fuck am I going to play? And just didn't have the desire to play anything.
Yeah.
Even though Dynasty Warriors 9 just came out, and I was like excited for it, but for some reason, every time I fire up the Xbox, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to watch Thor or Black Panther or something. Because I've been watching through the MCU stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back on the fucking KOTOR train. That's an issue. That says something.
The only Star Wars game I can play right now is from 2003.
Yeah, so I jumped back on that, but I am trying to switch things up. You know, I'm doing full heavy armor. And I'm doing soldier, heavy armor with counselor. So I've got a lot of force powers, but I'm also a fucking Hulk, and no one can hurt me.
Nice.
It's very interesting because I'm choosing force powers that I can use with my armor, obviously.
Right. I remember you saying that, yeah.
Which I can't use lightning, which sucks. But I can use like insanity, plague,
You can
destroy
still use
droids.
insanity with armor on?
Yep, and I can use kill. I can use. There's so much stuff that I can still use.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was driving around the other day, I don't know what I was listening to that made me think of KOTOR, but I remember you saying that in the group chat that you were going to do just as badass with a lightsaber as possible and still wear heavy armor, and that made me want to go fire it up and start a new character. So I might do that later tonight.
I'm also using a blade. So I'm using one lightsaber, but also the Wookiee blade you get on Kashyyyk,
Ooh, interesting.
which is upgradable, and it's a lot stronger than my lightsaber.
Yeah, that's what
So
my...
I'm dual wielding in Calo Nord's full armor. Got a lightsaber and the fucking blade, and I'm just murdering.
It's out of control. Yeah, I remember the last character I had. I've been having Canderous with me, and I gave him melee weapons as soon as possible, and they're actually way stronger than his blaster, even though his blaster's awesome. But he does more damage with those than I do with my lightsaber. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Kerner says, since I got an Xbox One, I've played KOTOR more than anything. Paul's character is basically Bane.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
Well, also, Kerner and I just got, well, not just, but I just bought the NBA 2K18. So,
oh shit.
First sports game I've owned since like 2006, and it was NBA 2006 2K.
It's always NBA 2K.
It's been like 12 years since I've played a game, and it's so hard. It's so hard to play, but it's fun. It's different.
Yeah. Just, I've never liked really sports, so I've never really liked sports games, except for NBA Jam. That was one exception. The most unrealistic sports game ever made. That and
2-on-2
and NFL Blitz.
Yeah.
2-on-2 with Bill Clinton. Yeah, that's the sports games I'm good at.
Fuck. All right. Are we going to jump into Black Panther, or what's going on?
Well, I was going to ask really quick. Are you going to review a beer?
No.
Or you changed your mind?
Yeah, I'm not going to review. Even though I'll say it publicly, I broke my my alcohol truce.
Bastard.
Well, did I say that last time since we went
Probably.
on that mini vacation to Philly?
I think so.
Philadelphia. So, I'm not 100% on it. So I was I was thinking about it, but yeah.
All right, let's do the guess the scene in the Star Wars movie thing since we're not doing beer. This and then one more episode without beer, and then we're back. And we got stuff. Thanks again to Steve from the San Diego Sabres podcast, because we have well, you're not with me, so I guess I have a sampler of stuff from California to crack open in March. That'll be my treat for sobering myself for a month. Let's do the guess the Star Wars scene. I'm going to say, I'm trying to think about it. I'm going to say 3 and 41.
41 minutes into 3.
Into Revenge of the Sith. This is going to be tough.
I think it's going to be pretty easy. It's going to be the hairbrush scene.
Well, you've watched this one more than anything else, so yeah. I don't fucking know.
I'm done. Hairbrush scene.
I'm done. The hairbrush scene.
It's got to be pretty early. That you got to think the first Dooku scene takes a little while, and so does Grievous.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass you by like 3 minutes and say Anakin's dream about Padme.
Okay.
Pissed he is. All right, let's pull this shit open real quick.
It's probably gonna be some bullshit.
I was thinking about the one of the Anakin Palpatine scenes, but I didn't know really which one.
Yoda counseling Anakin was another good guess, but I'm gonna stick with my hairbrush.
All right, 41 minutes is Obi-Wan, Mace, and Yoda in the gunship talking about how Anakin is or is not the chosen one, about to blast off for Kashyyyk.
They're already going to. Wait.
No, not going off to Kashyyyk. I just saw Wookiees, so I got confused. Yeah, there's Wookiees and shit. Yeah, but it's right when they're like, Anakin's not the chosen one. He's a fucking jackass.
That's right after they told him to spy, and he didn't take to his assignment. Whatever. Is that what we're talking about?
Yep.
He is the chosen one.
Yeah.
No, fuck off.
Is he not the chosen one? Is he not supposed to fucking do all this shit and then kill everybody? Yeah, that's it.
Well, we're both wrong. Both Trumpuses.
Wrong.
Yeah. All right. Black Panther.
What the fuck happened? My keyboard turned off.
You're not
pissed.
trying hard enough, clearly.
My keyboard's failing me. It's turned to the bleak blackness of the dark side. God damn.
Stop pressing the buttons.
I can't.
All right, guys.
It's not
We're gonna
doing
get
anything.
into Black Panther here. I saw it Sunday. You saw it Sunday as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I had to wait. The wife was not having it for some reason.
So, what were your initial thoughts about this so-called great movie?
So-called. Oh, man. Is that what's going to happen? I obviously loved Black Panther from Civil War. So going into it, I know absolutely nothing about the character. All I know is what we've seen in Civil War, which I loved. That's pretty much all I knew. I didn't expect anything else. So I was open to excellence, I guess I would say. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was entertained from start to finish. I was really intrigued by how they had how Wakanda was. I thought it was really cool that it was a blend of like their tribal heritage and crazy advanced technology, even crazier than Tony Stark ever had. So cool juxtaposition there. The setting was cool. I'm trying to think of complaints, but why don't you reel off your initial thoughts, expectations?
I didn't know what to expect. I don't know the background of Black Panther. I thought that it was awesome. It was a really good movie.
What did you try to mean earlier when you said this so-called great movie?
Well, everyone was assuming it was perfect.
Assuming it was perfect? What do you mean? It just
I don't
got
know.
really good reviews.
It did.
I said it just got really good reviews, not like it was perfection on a fucking screen.
No, I heard a lot of hype about it, and I didn't know what to expect going in because I don't know anything about him. But I thought the background story to Wakanda and the Black Panther and the whole thing was so perfect. Even the fact that, like you just said, it was kind of a cool infusion of like alien technology and African culture.
Yeah.
And it fits so well. And they had the African culture ingrained into everything. The fact they had tribes, the garments they were wearing, the clothes that they were wearing, the showdown that they had on the fucking riverbed or whatever. I thought it was perfect. That it all made sense. I was pleasantly surprised. The couple shaky things were very minor. Before I forget, the fact that you said it was almost like more advanced than Tony Stark. That's the first thing I thought was like, man, this technology's been around for 1,000 years. The fact that Tony was just rich and like made some machines makes him a superhero. But the fact that this stuff's been around like negates Tony Stark. Why do you need Tony Stark?
It's kind of true. I'm
like,
really curious.
We have a guy in a suit that absorbs energy and can't die.
That was so cool.
Like, the only thing he can't do is fly, but just buy some Tony Stark shit.
Tony Dark. It's Tony Dark. I'm really curious to see now that I don't know if you watch the post-credit scenes, but now that Wakanda is like open to the world, once he meets and like has a longer discussion with Tony Stark, I wonder how like that's going to influence his Iron Man suits, or if he's going to change anything, or if he's going to get some vibranium upgrades or anything.
So unfortunately, I missed the second one. I thought they were done with it.
You dangus.
They're never done. I'm assuming that's the one that he talks to Tony.
He doesn't talk to Tony at all.
Oh, what's
I'm
the
just saying. I'm wondering if in Infinity War or something. Now that the first one is he goes up in front of the UN and says, "We've been in hiding forever. Now we're going to finally come out." Yeah.
I want the world to know. Wakanda has it.
Wakanda. Let's stop that right now.
I need a beer.
But he says, "Me too, man. I'm telling you." And I have to look at Land Grant all day, and I'm just like salivating.
Saturation.
Spacitation.
He goes.
Anyways, we try to get through this. He goes in front of the UN. He says, "We've been in hiding forever, but we're going to finally come out and share share our tech with you, and share what we've learned and our wealth and everything like that." So that's what made me think about him introducing some upgrades to Tony Stark or something like that. And then
Tony Stark or Spider-Man.
Well, who makes Spider-Man suits? Tony Stark. And then the one at the very end was Winter Soldier in hiding in one of the huts in Wakanda. Because you remember at the end of Civil War, Cap took him to Black Panther's place in Wakanda, and they're in hiding.
When? Which movie?
At the end of Civil War. Do you not remember that? That was one of the post-credit scenes in Civil War. So Cap, at the end of the movie, finally saves Bucky, almost kills Iron Man, and then he goes with with Black Panther back to Wakanda. So Cap and Winter Soldier are in hiding in Wakanda.
Who the fuck was that?
Why are you so pissed about that news?
I like that the two white dudes in the movie were Bilbo Baggins and Smeagol.
That's so funny. The one part in when they have Andy Serkis tied up in the interrogation and he screams that they stole it. All I could think of was fucking Smeagol.
Stole it.
Yeah. No, they were great too. I didn't expect Andy Serkis to go out that early on. I thought he was going to be throughout the whole movie.
He fucking killed it too.
Yeah, he was great. This is the first time I've seen him in a not
mocap?
CGI. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like really astounded with his skills.
Well, it takes extra skills to do the mocap thing, and we were talking about the Planet of the Apes stuff that he did, and Snoke, where his face isn't on screen. It's just all of his emotion. Yeah, so he killed it. I didn't expect him to be such a badass, and him fit the role.
Yeah, dude.
It was exciting.
It was awesome.
So, any gripes about the movie?
I don't know if I'm totally in love with the villain.
That's what other people were saying. I was okay with him. The gripe I had was his buddy that turned on the Wakanda so quickly. His first in command. When he came back and was like, I couldn't kill Smeagol. And he's you should have. I fucking hate my culture and fuck this. And I'm like, whoa, dude.
Well, and especially because his girlfriend is the general. It's pretty much second in command, in charge of the forces. So I was surprised with that as well, that he just fucking turned traitor so quickly.
I thought the background of the villain, I forget his name, Full Throttle or some shit.
It's that bad. I'm surprised they kept it. Killmonger. I kind of understood his background and his purpose though, because he was born of that descent, but he was treated like a piece of shit, like everybody else that could benefit from, the adamantium or whatever the fuck the stuff is. Vibranium. Yeah.
So I completely understood. Now the fact that he was tearing down the culture from the inside out was oh, okay. You're pushing it a little too far, because now there can't be any more Black Panthers after this one.
Yeah, that was one thing that rubbed me the wrong way too. That was extreme. Yeah, I don't know. I get his backstory. I think I say this about every single Star Wars or Marvel movie, but a little bit more I think would have been good. I just want to know how much Wakandan tradition he picked up until he was 8, and then his dad died, and then the rest of his life. How much does he know, I guess? And how did he learn all that, the whole language and everything so quickly?
Well, he did find his dad's book, right? And
yeah, that's right.
So
that explains some of it.
So he had a Wakandan, history book, but
encyclopedia.
It's
Ray with the
I don't know. I liked the action in the movie. I thought his suit powers made sense. I thought the fact that it absorbed kinetic energy was kind of outrageous, to be honest. But I was like, okay, I don't know what vibranium can or can't do, so who am I to say it's dumb or not?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fucking badass, but it was a little extreme. Then again, the idea of Iron Man's extreme. Fuck it.
But that makes sense. It's powered by something. It's electronic. Blah blah blah. If you try to kill me, you're gonna try to punch me. Well, since you punched me, I got more powerful. He was almost like a doomsday in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, you cut off my arm. Now now I got 3 of them. What are you gonna do about those? Nope.
I think it's all right. So Iron Man, obviously, when he starts off with the suit, he has to stand in that little platform and have his machines equip the suit to him. And then eventually he gets to a point where he can just open up a suitcase and he pushes a button and it just wraps itself around his body. I thought, and that's cool. I just thought that the suit being stored in his necklace and then just morphine itself onto his body was just a little weird. But we have no fucking idea what vibranium can and cannot do, so I guess that explains it.
But that makes me feel like it's not a suit, like it's more of like a hologram or like an energy shield from KOTOR. You like activate it and it just goes wow. Instead of, but I don't know. Because it seemed like a physical suit that you could touch.
I'm not a vibranium expert.
I'm not yet. You know, we got to read up on it. Jacob Weiss old school us on some shit.
How did Howard Stark get that vibranium all the way back in the day when he made Cap's shield? What are you doing?
I don't know. Hold on.
King T'Challa's over there fucking around?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the actual comic history, so this could be obvious and I just missed it, but I want to know how they got vibranium for Captain Shield way back in World War II. How did it happen?
Well, obviously, some people have to sneak in somehow, or I don't know, drug deals or something. I don't know.
They said what's his face is the first time that anybody's like breached their defenses or whatever.
Is Cap Shield vibranium?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because they said the vibranium came from a comet or something that hit. Maybe it was just part of another comet or something. I don't know. You didn't think about that.
I'm going to show this. So I think everyone was ranting and raving about it first because it had a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. I actually think it debuted at 100% and is now down to 97%. Which debuting at 100% is, I don't know. We've argued about that. Like, why can't any movie ever be 100%? But also, to rate it a perfect movie is so hard to actually do. And then IMDb had a 7.9.
I thought the casting was really good too, though.
Oh yeah.
The only one that I wasn't 100% sure about was Warmonger. What's his name? Michael William
Killmonger.
Scott.
No, I thought his casting was awesome because I think he was in some other superhero movie, and then he was Human Torch in the newest Fantastic Four, which was obviously terrible. So it's good to see him in an actual good superhero movie. His acting was great. I thought he branched that, like, coming from Southern California, but being part of Wakanda. I think he combined those two really well. Like I said, it was just a wee bit more backstory on him would have been sweet. But hey, you can only fit so much into like a 2-hour movie. So it is what it is. What do you think of this just showed up on the screen here? Andy Serkis's like Terminator 2 arm that like split in half and then launched shit.
his arm cannon. Yeah, I just chalked it up as okay, whatever. I didn't have a thought about it because if I really start thinking about it, I probably would have shit on it. But like why?
Can't think in too much detail about this.
So I was just like, it's a superhero movie. I'm not gonna try to start trolling on it. Whatever. Let him have a fucking arm that shoots.
I chalked it up to it was kind of like the stuff that, what the fuck is his name? The bad guy in Spider-Man. Vulture. It's kind of like the stuff that Vulture had. He was salvaging like alien tech from the Avengers disaster in New York and turning it into crazy weapons. It was kind of like that. Just stuff that a human should never be able to do, but alien tech brought it around.
Around town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the movie. It was a good movie. Casting was great.
Mm-hmm.
Saul Guerrero was great.
Yeah, he was. Did Dane say anything on the Patreon call yesterday? He was talking shit like it was a Lion King ripoff.
No, Dane was not on the call yesterday.
Dane, you fucking bro.
So, yeah. Overall rating or any other thoughts about Black Panther?
3 stars for sure. Beer rating style, 3 stars.
I'll say this. I've been getting not just overwhelmed, but I do think the Marvel Universe is starting to get wild simply because there's so much content coming out that I'm just not as excited for it. With that said, I thought Black Panther stood alone very well.
Yeah. Well, origin stories, it's easier for them too. But yeah.
So, but even like Spider-Man Homecoming, of course they have to have Tony Stark in half of it and all this shit. I'm like, look, Can we just do Spider-Man? Can we just do fucking Spider-Man? I don't want to see Tony Stark. I don't want to hear about the Hulk. I don't want to have to do any of this shit. So Black Panther finally came in, and it was like the slightest, like, yeah, there's other like crazy people out there. That's all we needed to know. Everything else was Wakanda and Black Panther. So I was wholeheartedly happy about it. What was Bilbo Baggins? What was his character, and where else did he come from?
He was in
Civil War?
Yeah, it was either that or Age of Ultron. I can't remember.
And he was like just kind of a commander or something, or CIA doucher.
It was Civil War because once Winter Soldier blows up that building and kills T'Challa's dad. His name is T'Chaka. I mixed those two up. They have him in custody, and Bilbo Baggins is like interrogating him. And then I think he leaves, and then that fucking Hammerfell guy comes in and says those crazy ass Russian words to him, and then he morphs into Winter Soldier and breaks out and kills people. And I thought he was in Ultron too, but I must have been mistaken.
See, I knew I had seen him before, and they were pulling him out of something, but I haven't seen all the movies in a long time.
The Hobbit. So yeah, it's interesting that you say that you're getting a little overwhelmed. There is a lot coming out, but I'm okay with it.
It's almost like underwhelmed. Like I don't. There's so much shit
care as
coming
much?
out. I don't care as much. I really don't. And that's why, like, when like Get Out came out, I was so happy because it was something different. It came out. I was like, yes, something. Just give me some other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there just? It's been Star Wars and superheroes for a decade straight. Yeah, and there hasn't been a lot of focus on other good movies, which maybe it's just because that's what we focus on. But
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not mad that there's a shit ton of Marvel movies because they've all been really good, with a few exceptions like Hulk and Iron Man 3 and stuff. And I haven't seen Thor 2 yet, so maybe that one as well. And I just watched Thor last night, and it was okay.
The Ragnarok one?
No, the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was not bad. I think Thor as a character's interesting, but I think it was early enough where they didn't really have a grasp on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, they were right about to like be amazing at making all of them, and then tied that with you're talking about the actual stories of like Odin and Thor being in Asgard, and it's hard to pull that off. I think they did a pretty good job, but it's hard to make like Norse mythology come to life and make it be believable. But
and it's a weird mix of power, because when we think about Thor coming down, he's a god, he's an alien, but then Hulk, he is just a fucking fucked up like science experiment, and he can annihilate easily Thor. So like
that's why Hulk's so mysterious.
Well, even Black Panther,
intriguing.
I would say he could probably take the Hulk or take Thor out. So just the whole idea of gods and that mythology part of it, it's very interesting of how they shuffle it into the superhero universe, because it's almost like nothing adds up. Whoever's name is on the title is going to be the most powerful person in the movie.
Interesting.
Like, really think about it. If you wanted to rank like top 3 superheroes,
like strongest,
yeah. And that could be most intelligent and everything, but I have one that it's impossible to kill him. So,
what?
Doctor Strange? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I get he didn't reach his full potential in his origin story movie. So I don't know. Like, and you read the comics, so I don't know exactly how crazy he actually gets. But
I mean, I'm sure there's ways to kill them all, and I get that. But dude, what I would do for Infinity Wars, Doctor Strange should just sit there, and someone should create an impenetrable box and put Hulk in it. Just impenetrable. And Doctor Strange should just fucking warp people in there one by one and have Hulk just romp them.
That's most
Thanos,
ridiculous.
You're up next.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
And he's there. And what the fuck are you going to do now?
Yeah, man. It's crazy how it's coming to. I think this is why I like the Marvel movies so much, is because you start off with origin stories and cameos, and you're going to come to this head in Infinity War where everyone that has ever been in a Marvel movie that isn't dead is going to be in this. and the Guardians are showing up. Thanos is finally showing up. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm excited to have people fucking die off too. So I don't have to-
Hopefully. Yeah, they need to kill some people. Okay, so tying into your lackluster Marvel movies now that there's a million of them every month, do you think that's going to happen with Star Wars? Because obviously we have sagas, we have the spin-off movies, and then we have the Rian Johnson trilogy, the Game of Thrones guys trilogy with no details yet. And who knows however many TV series or whatever they're going to make for the streaming service. So do you think that's about to happen with Star Wars too?
Don't you think it's already happened?
But I'm not mad about it. Are you mad about it?
I'm not mad about it, but it's gotten to the point where both of us know it's impossible to keep up with everything.
Well, movies
There's
are a little
so
easier to
much
keep up
shit.
with though.
Yeah, true. But they without any video games,
So mad. You just got brain freeze from being so pissed.
without any fucking video games, I think it's easier. But with all the comics, all the novels, all the toys, the movies are coming out now once a year.
Mm-hmm.
This is now after Solo, that's going to be our longest wait, which is it's going to feel long now.
True.
It's going to be a year and like 8 months.
And then once 2020 hits, we're going to be getting like 2 or more every single year.
See, I think that should be the max because we're getting into now. There's 6 Marvel movies this year?
No, I think there's 4.
Oh, that makes it a lot better.
Fuck you.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like I just got over, and I think it's happening with Solo. I just got over The Last Jedi. Now
I'm not
already
even
have
over The Last Jedi.
Yeah, so I'm trying to hype back up for the Solo. It's just I think spacing and timing, and ramp up period, is very important to grow interest.
Well, and that's why I'm super excited about the all the Marvel stuff because it's been going since 2008. It's been 10 years ramping up to this epic freaking event that's about to happen in May. Let me see here. So we had 3 Marvel movies in 2017, Spider-Man, Thor, and Guardians 2. And then 2018, we're going to have 3 as well. So Black Panther, Avengers, and the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, I could care less about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And
too.
3 in 2019. And I think after that, it gets a little blurry as to what's actually happening.
So maybe after Infinity Wars, it'll start cooling off quite a bit. But Ant-Man and Wasp, I probably won't see in theaters.
You're out of control.
What?
Ant-Man was awesome. Of course I'm going to go see that in theaters.
Ant-Man was a good movie, and that's where I'll leave it.
I'm seeing every single MCU movie in theaters.
We'll see. Depends on what I'm doing that weekend.
So anyways,
Moving
that
on.
weekend, because the movie's only going to come out for one weekend. I don't know, man. I don't think that this many movies, as long as they keep up the quality, I don't think there's a problem with having this much content.
No, and it's on me. It's not an issue specifically with like Marvel or anything. I just get burnt out on stuff, and I'm surprised that because I know you do too.
I can, yeah. Well, that's what happened. I was balls deep in Star Wars for so long. We had the event, we had The Last Jedi, all that stuff, and now I'm like straight into Marvel for right now. Black Panther just came out. I'm rewatching the movies leading up to Infinity War, and then when Solo comes out, I'm going to be right back into Star Wars zone.
See, all that is lumped into one ball for me.
Well,
so I get
you need
enough
some
of all
dividers.
that.
You need some dividers.
I just need to get the fuck out and watch something else. Actually, with that said, I watched HBO Go the other night, Alien vs. Predator, which is a guilty pleasure because it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it, man. It's fun for me. I like it. I'm not even a big fan of particularly Predator or the Alien movies, but for whatever reason, Alien vs. Predator, the way they fixed both of those and infused the movies in the background, it was awesome. I thought it was interesting. The movie itself's mediocre at best, but the plot behind it holds it together. Fight me, bro.
I'm not gonna fight you. It's just funny. I'm just gonna laugh at you from behind the screen, the safety of my office.
Safety.
Oh man, I don't know. I understand it's a guilty pleasure. It's all good. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Bad movie, but it's fun to watch.
Too many Marvel movies, but I'm trying to watch Alien vs. Predator right now, bro.
I would. And actually, I was looking at Valerian because that's on sale on Xbox right now.
Watch
Valerian. And there was another movie that was kind of spacey, but not 100% nerd. That I forget what it was. It was Valerian and something else. So I might have to jump on that bandwagon for a minute. I might have to just jump off KOTOR and go back to like Mass Effect for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for something else, man. Take my time up.
Game of Thrones.
What am I going to do with Game of Thrones?
Rewatch them all.
I've already watched them all.
Watch them all again.
Damn it. No.
Just like
I
you
don't
watched
wanna
Star
rewatch.
Wars 47 times.
There's got to be, I heard good, was it Black Mirror? The Netflix
Yeah.
show. I've heard good things about that. I might have to break into that.
I think us too, because we just finished Shameless.
Yeah, we got to the last season of Shameless, and I just kind of was burnt out on that too.
I was burnt out at the end of season 4, but we just kept watching it as something to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for Mopar, man, I've just burnt out on the I'm a superhero and I can't die, so let me make a movie.
Yeah, some more higher stakes would be good in those movies. I do agree with that 100%.
I think Dunkirk was the other one that I was really considering purchasing because I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
I think that was on sale on the Xbox.
I really am a big fan of the universe aesthetic of things. Like, I think that's why I like Marvel so much, is because each movie can stand alone, but it's all glued together with the universe. Same thing with Star Wars, same thing with Thrones, with Lord of the Rings. That's why I always like those, and Harry Potter and stuff like that. Like, I don't hate standalone movies or like single movies that don't have any extra content at all. I just tend to like when there's an immersive universe I can jump into. It's too bad you can't get balls deep in DC because their movies are just like meh.
Well, they're. I was gonna talk about their animated films because
Yeah, there you go.
Gotham by Gotham.
I was saying, did you watch that Gotham by Gaslight or anything?
Goose Light.
Goose Light.
Oh man. No, I haven't. I haven't purchased anything. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, I just saw the discounted Star Wars stuff on Steam. It's like 100%. I thought it was all Star Wars titles were up to 65% off. So if you guys are listening live and or listening in time, you might want to check out Steam real quick because they had some major discounts. And all the way back to like the TIE Fighter stuff. And
I was going to say, I think they had individual items were on sale, and they also had every Star Wars game ever on Steam for like $209 or something, which is pretty ridiculous. But I guess if we're, I have this old PC sitting over here. I just need to figure out how to get it fixed and fire it up and get some of those old games on there.
Yeah. Might as well just buy a cheap laptop. It'll probably run better than that pile.
Probably will, but I ain't trying to buy something brand new because I don't want to.
Don't want to.
I don't have the money for that. Oh, goodness.
What else is going on? It's been raining for fucking 2 weeks. I've had enough of that shit. We actually got a really good snow last night, two nights ago. It was surprising. They said we were going to have flurries, and it within 2 hours, it was like 4 or 5 inches. I was like, wow, this is like back home.
Yeah, we got a good amount. We were driving back home from Canton on Saturday night. By the time we got down to Columbus, though, it was just rain, which I fucking hate. But
yeah, I was in West Virginia for the week, and it rained there all week. And then as soon as I set back home, which was about a 4.5 hour drive, it started raining, and I drove with the storm the entire fucking time all the way home. So it was just it was one of those drives where you couldn't just like zone out and like listen to music or whatever. I was like, I had to actually drive because the winds were that high and I was going through mountains and shit.
Yeah.
And I got home and I was like, I don't feel like fucking doing a thing right now.
Not even
I fell asleep at like 8:30. I was like, fuck this. Yeah. Had enough of that.
I'm pissed about all of it.
So yeah, I'll be local this week, but upstate New York on Thursday, Friday, Syracuse area. So that's a beautiful part of the States. part of the Marvel universe. I'm gonna hopefully.
What do you think? I thought that this in the theater randomly. That's totally random. But how Marvel is immersed in our actual world and DC has, it kind of is, but they have their own, like Gotham is like a made up place. But all the Marvel stuff takes place in New York. What do you think about that?
I honestly don't have any major thoughts. I don't think I'm just trying to think of how it differs or how it changes anything, and it really doesn't. I think you have a little more obviously creativity options in DC Universe because you could blow up Gotham and it still could make sense because, well, we'll just move to New York now, or something, or just make up another Dotham. Like fuck it, it doesn't matter.
Botham
Spies. Yeah, I don't think it makes a big difference. I think it actually adds a little more creativity because you can have like that Gotham underworld that could exist that, you know, Bruce can go to and kind of really understand. It's almost like a underworld terrace. Like you go under the like overpasses and all of a sudden the sun doesn't come out here and everybody's coughing on each other and that's all that, you know.
You got people trying to sell you fucking death sticks and stuff.
That sticks.
It ain't the best stuff. No, it popped in my head while I was watching the movie because I think Marvel's always done a good job of melding the real world with all the superhero stuff. They start you with Iron Man, he's a super genius, so he doesn't have any actual powers, and then they gradually ramp up to like Thor and now Black Panther and the Hulk and stuff like that. And I don't know how the fuck Thanos is going to look on screen. I'm curious to see how I feel about this giant purple chin guy coming down and beating the shit out of everybody. But
so we've seen him, just a flash of him.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you feel with him compared to like Steppenwolf in Justice League? Because they're essentially very similar beings. While Steppenwolf, there's still another level above him because Darkseid's above him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I could be wrong, but I'm thinking Darkseid and Thanos are like each other's opposites and into different universes. So like
the main villain of the universe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Steppenwolf was just like his first in command.
Right.
Now that he died, did he die or did he get away at the end?
I think he died. I can't remember.
See, that's an issue.
That I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he looked goofy.
What, Thanos?
No, I thought Thanos looked decent. Maybe it's just his build and the fact that Steppenwolf had some crazy bullshit on, but it makes sense because it's from another universe. He's got to have like a different style and creativity and, you know, different kicks and shit.
I just really wish they would have put the actor in a fucking sweet suit with makeup to make it look like him instead of CGIing the entire character. And they did the same thing with Thanos, so I probably shouldn't complain about it too much. But
you think it's mocap how they do that? Or
I think so. Because it's Mance Rayder, the Wildling King, is the guy who played Steppenwolf in Justice League. So I was like, it would have been sweet just to see him in the armor and whatever. Like when you have Black Panther walking around, when he's not in the middle of a giant fight, that's the dude in the suit. So it blends in a little bit better. So that was my only thing. But Steppenwolf was pretty cool. They do
really well with Iron Man. It looks so spotless between him getting suited, unsuited.
Yeah.
Him with no helmet in the suit or something like that. They do that very well.
I was watching a documentary of Industrial Light and Magic on YouTube, and they said they kind of started with Star Wars and were going through the years up to like Jurassic Park and stuff like that. And I think maybe it was George or maybe it was somebody else, but they said when they did the like the first round of CGI for Iron Man, they were like, we're in some other crazy level where you can make whatever you want and it looks like it's really on screen and it's crazy. Like that was a big, huge turning point. I think obviously Star Wars was one. Jurassic Park was another big one. And then Iron Man, they just, like, you can't tell if he's in his actual suit or if it's CGI. It looks that good.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Very true.
It's true.
So what else is happening? We got solo books and comics coming out.
Yeah. So we were chatting about this in the group chat, but we were wondering if they were going to do like a journey to Force Awakens, like they usually do, and have like a few books leading up to it. So they announced this on StarWars.com. We have a Han and Lando book. It's like a dual cover. It's called Last Shot, and it says it's a Han and Lando novel. Let's see.
So it's not who shot first, it's last shot.
Yeah.
Final shot.
So Greedo's not in this one.
Actually, they should feature Greedo, and it should be called Final Shot.
This comes out April 17th. And I think this is the one where, oh yeah, so it takes place in 3 time periods. We have that right here. So it starts off right before the movie Solo. And then there's a section right after the movie. And then there's a third section, which is, I thought they had it up here. Oh, and then after the Battle of Endor. So it'll span a good amount of time. Like 15 years or so. So that'll be interesting to hear.
Okay.
And then we got something with Kira and Han Solo. It's interesting. This is crazy. So this is one of the first times, with the exception of Kenobi, that we're used to seeing Han on all of these like Harrison Ford on all these comic depictions of Han Solo. And now we have Alden Ehrenreich here on the cover. It's just crazy to see that. I didn't think twice about it, though. I scrolled past. I was like, oh, it's Han Solo. Wait a second. It's a new Han Solo.
Really?
You know what I mean?
No.
Are you seeing this right now, you fucking dangus?
No.
Just go to StarWars.com, and it's like the second news story.
God damn it. Now I got homework to do on the podcast.
No, do it right now so you can see what I'm talking about. People that are live right now, if you're on YouTube, you can see this right now. But it's just crazy, like I said, to see it's not Harrison Ford's Han Solo on the cover of a Han Solo book, it's fucking sweet, man. I dig it. So that's about Han and Kira. That's Emilia Clarke's character. On Corellia. So more stuff about Corellia. And then we got a Young Lando comic series coming out, and we see motherfucking Childish Gambino on the cover of this. It looks so cool. He looks so awesome as Lando. And the comic comes out issue number 1 on May 29th. So it's actually right after the movie.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then we have some young adult and teenager stuff and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, stuff that I'm not going to worry about. Star Wars. I am a Wookiee. Kids book. You know what I'm buying my kids? It's just all Star Wars books. It'll be interesting to see, though, all this extra backstory about Han and Lando and everything. So,
yeah, I think that's the key to the Solo film is the banter back and forth and the character development between Han and Chewie, and then Han and Lando. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens.
Flashback really quick here in the chat. Witch Hunter says we did not technically see Steppenwolf die in Justice League. Because they turn his little bug creatures on him, and then they like take him away, but we technically didn't see him actually die.
Probably lived.
Random. Just saw that in the chat. I wanted to throw that in there. Oh, look, here's your link that you were mentioning. Get classic Star Wars games 65% off.
There you go.
Of course, cover photo is motherfucking Darth Malik.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
What link is it? Send it to me because they just signed me up. Purchase it all.
Even though you already have KOTOR, which is the one that they're promoting.
I'll buy it again. You know how many times I've bought KOTOR?
Very true.
I still can't get used to firing up KOTOR on my Xbox One and having the original Xbox. Wow. Yeah, all that shit.
Man, the nostalgia.
Yeah.
They need to have
playing Fusion Frenzy or some fucking Halo or some shit.
They need to have load built into the Xbox startup. So as soon as you fire up KOTOR, yeah, it's oh man, that's awesome. So yeah, that's
funny how music, like you think of certain albums, certain songs, and it's like a certain time of your life.
Music and smells jet you back to a certain time.
I haven't been able to smell for like a decade.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, how much time we got?
That'll be the topic of the episode.
Ooh. So yeah, what do we got to look forward to? What else we got? Anything coming up?
Nothing. There's nothing coming out. I'm pissed. That's it.
I think you're right. Is there any like video games? We need to get PUBG. We need to break down. Just get it.
We do. I've really been wanting to play an awesome multiplayer shooter, and I just really wanted that to be Battlefront. I held out hope for so long. Long.
There's a lot of Battlefronts we can choose from.
That's true. Well, if I get this PC fired up, we can go back and play a 2005 one. Dude, I would go for some Hardline. Maybe I'll play that tonight.
Yeah, I've been hurting for some Hardline because it's a little quicker. It's kind of like the Black Ops.
No.
What's the Call of Duty?
Cops and Robbers.
Oh yeah, Cops and Robbers.
I don't think there was a Call of Duty Cops and Robbers. It's just Battlefield Hardline. I do have a buddy that I've been yelling at for like 6 years to get Battlefield, and finally did. So we kind of need to jump back into 4.
Dude, I'm balls deep at all points.
At all points. We tried to play a few weeks ago. I jumped in with you and Dead Pulio, played half a match, and you're like, all right, I'm getting off.
Dude, I played for like an hour and a half. We were waiting for you.
Yeah.
We were doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Might jump on here, before Glass Armor gets back. Maybe we should end this and jump on real quick.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I could do that. I need a match or two to like totally get back in the swing of it because I was not doing good. To say
Battlefront fucks it all up.
It's very true.
So,
and then you go try, and then I go back and try to play like Dark Souls and stuff, and then I get used to that, and then trying to go back again and play a shooter, it's just too many.
That's why I like KOTOR. It's one speed, fucking slow.
And you don't actually have to attack. You just select your attacks, and then you miss everything.
Roll them die, bitch. Rolling the dice. That's why Carter likes KOTOR so much.
Oh, no wonder.
Rolling the dice.
Oh, I watched Chappelle's 2 new Netflix specials.
Yeah.
He said roll the dice. Kerner was most pleased.
Yeah. His first one I thought was a lot better. Second one was still pretty good, but it's always nice to see Dave Chappelle back on stage.
Yeah, it seemed like in the second one he got way too high and just started talking about stuff. And like left his jokes on the table and just started talking about whatever he felt like talking about.
Which was fine with me, but yeah I thought his first one was a lot better.
Yeah. You hear that? It's cargo train coming into Coruscant.
Oh, I thought it was a Death Star about to blow up.
That is the one. I want to go around to trains and replace the horn with the Death Star blowing up sound. And whenever a train's rolling by, that's what it sounds like. No, that is the one downside to the office is there's giant train tracks, like all the way at the other end of the building. Ones. Yeah. So once or twice a day you hear that, but hey, it adds to the whatever.
Spectrum.
The spectrum. Yeah, exactly.
The universe.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Episode
Appreciate you guys tuning in. This is a quick episode.
135.
Some decent stuff. Black Panther was awesome.
If you liked Marvel more, we could have talked more about it. But hey,
what do you mean?
You hate it. You hated it. You hate Marvel. You're burnt out. Pissed.
Well, that doesn't say anything. That's what I kept trying to say. It's not anything against Marvel.
I know.
It's me being burnt out on it. They could still be making fucking clear-cut, perfect movies, but
which they are.
Oh.
Pissed.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Rogue Squadron Podcast, episode 134. We had enough of it.
135, we'd had much of it.
Had enough. Tired. Can't do this.
You're tired, but you're going to play Battlefield?
Yeah, that's my hands moving. I don't have to be awake for it.
That's my hands moving. Whenever there's a discrepancy about anything. Well, yeah, that's just my hands moving.
Oh, it didn't record the video.
You fuck.
I got the audio, though.
That's the important thing. All right, Drangles.
Bye.